Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to study some main topics of subject physics class first year. These video lectures are also useful for MBBS test. These lectures are in very simple words by which anyone can take help. If I missed anything in this video or you don't understand anything, so comment in the comment section. So let's move to our lecture. Let's explore 15 questions of physics with answers. What is torque? Torque is a measure of tendency of a force to cause an object to rotate around an axis or pivot point. It depends on the magnitude of force, the distance from the axis, and the angle between force and the lever arm. What is the center of mass? The center of mass is the point in an object or system where its entire mass can be considered to be concentrated. It is the average position of all particles that make up object, taking into account their masses and positions. What are the conditions for equilibrium? For an object to be in equilibrium, two conditions must be satisfied. The net force acting on the object must be zero. Sum of forces in all directions is zero, and the net torque acting on object must be zero. Sum of torques about any point is zero. How is the location of axis determined in torque calculation? The location of axis is chosen based on convenience and simplicity of problem. It is often selected at a point where the calculation of torque becomes easier, such as fixed point or the center of mass. What is angular momentum? Angular momentum is a property of rotating object or system. It is the product of moment of inertia and angular velocity of object. Angular momentum is a vector quantity and its direction is perpendicular to the plane of rotation. What is the conservation of momentum for particles? The conservation of angular momentum for a particle states that if no external torque acts on a particle, its angular momentum remains constant. This means that the initial angular momentum of particle is equal to its final angular momentum, provided no external torque are present. What are some applications of conservation law for angular momentum? The conservation law for angular momentum has several applications, including explaining the stability of spinning objects such as gyroscopes, understanding the behavior of celestial bodies such as planets and stars, analyzing the motion of figure skaters, divers and gymnasts during spins and rotations, designing and analyzing rotating machinery such as turbines and flywheels. How is the center of mass related to stability of object? The position of center of mass affects the stability of an object. An object is more stable when its center of mass is located closer to its base of support. This provides a larger margin against tipping or falling over. What is static equilibrium? Static equilibrium occurs when an object is at rest and its center of mass is not accelerating. In static equilibrium, the net force and net torque acting on the object are both zero. What is dynamic equilibrium? Dynamic equilibrium occurs when an object is moving at constant velocity with a balanced net force and zero net torque acting on it. The object is in both translational and rotational equilibrium simultaneously. How is the center of mass determined for irregularly shaped objects? The center of mass for irregularly shaped objects can be determined by considering the distribution of mass within the object. It is typically the point at which object would balance perfectly if supported. What is rotational equilibrium? Rotational equilibrium occurs when net torque acting on an object is zero. In rotational equilibrium, object may be rotating at a constant angular velocity or it may be at rest. What is the relationship between torque and force? Torque is the product of force and perpendicular distance from axis of rotation. It is given by the equation torque is equal to force multiplied by lever arm. The lever arm is the shortest distance from axis of rotation to the line of action of force. What factors affect angular momentum of rotating object? The angular momentum of a rotating object depends on its moment of inertia, rotational speed, angular velocity, and the distribution of mass around axis of rotation. Changing any of these factors can alter the object angular momentum. How does angular momentum change when the moment of inertia or object changes? When the moment of inertia of an object changes, its angular momentum can change. According to the conservation of angular momentum, if no external torque acts on the object, an increase in moment of inertia leads to a decrease in angular velocity and vice versa. If you like this video, then please like, subscribe, comment and share our channel Dr. Raza Academy and Educational Consultancy.